Good morning. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Bullish Network. Guys, the last few days, a few things that have happened very significantly in the crypto world that made me actually take a serious look at Stellar. And of course, I've always been a fan of XRP, but this is what caught my attention. Stellar Development Foundation announces exclusive partnership with Elliptic. So Stellar Foundation announces exclusive partnership with Elliptic, which is good to see new news come out on Stellar April 30th, 2020. So also, as I jumped down that rabbit hole a little bit, this caught my attention. Crypto analytic firm Elliptic bags 5 million investment from banking giant Wells and Fargo. So I'm like, whoa, how does this connect Stellar? How does this connect Elliptic? And how is it that we can tie Elliptic and Stellar and also Wells and Fargo to the same initiative? So that sent me deeper down the rabbit hole of Elliptic because I was kind of curious of what is this Elliptic. So when I went a little bit deeper, something else really caught my attention. Our investment in Elliptic is a further commitment to this belief and to SBI Group's appetite to help build a digital asset related ecosystem. So basically now we got SBI Group that's also backing Elliptic. Yashi Katawi, CEO of SBI Group, added Elliptic's pioneer approach to enabling the transparency, integrity, and trust necessary for this vision to become a reality. So basically, Elliptic's pioneer approach is enabling the transparency, integrity, and trust necessary for the vision to become a reality. So basically, it seems like we have a lot of entities backing this Elliptic, all the way from Wells and Fargo to Ripple Board of Director Katawi. Ripple welcomes Katawi to the board of directors. He's speaking highly of Elliptic, and now we know Wells and Fargo is also backing Elliptic. And Stellar Foundation comes out and says, hey, they have an exclusive partnership with Elliptic. So that also piqued my interest on Elliptic and Stellar. So I said, I want to go deeper down this rabbit hole. So that brings me to Wells and Fargo back startup helps manage crypto risk, because I wanted to understand what Elliptic actually was. And we kind of covered this a little bit in a video prior, but I just wanted to go a little bit deeper down the rabbit hole on what Elliptic was, how they started, what is the game plan. And of course, you can find Binance. Binance unveils latest compliance partnership targeting anti-money laundering. So cryptocurrency exchange Binance has partnered with blockchain monitoring solution provider Elliptic. So I'm like, whoa, there's a bigger initiative going on behind the scenes than I initially thought. And whenever you find Binance, right behind them, of course, you find Coinbase. Coinbase partner Elliptic denies selling Coinbase customers' data. But the key here is Coinbase partner Elliptic. So already we have Coinbase and Binance working with Elliptic, funded by Wells and Fargo, backed by Katawi from Ripple Board of Directors. So we have some big initiative happening here with this Elliptic. So this is a very interesting scenario unfolding here. So as we dig deeper down the rabbit hole, and it's kind of interesting here because as Coinbase partner Elliptic denies selling Coinbase customers' data, it's kind of interesting because that's around the same time that Brian Brooks would be at Coinbase also. And now Brian Brooks is going to the Treasury overseeing the banking department, but we will get to that in a moment. So as we move on, I kind of wanted to look at the leadership team at Elliptic right here. So meet our leadership team. This one did jump out at me right here. Tom Robinson, chief scientist. What jumped out at me here, he is a forensic analyst of Bitcoin transactions, has helped secure the convictions of cyber criminals. He holds a doctorate in physics. So basically, it seems like he has prior experience of tracking maybe bad actors on the blockchain. So they're building out. So basically, guys, if you can't tell, they're building out some kind of technology that determines, fraudulent transactions or bad actors using the blockchain, which is good because we're going to have very high volume traffic, which also leads to they're laying the groundwork for regulation. Binance, Coinbase, Elliptic, Ripple, SBI. They're determining a way to, make the world more crypto friendly and crypto safe, which is a good thing. But if I can tie Ripple and Stellar here and early at 7 cents and 15 cents, and I'm not a financial advisor, and being a part of history, this is a huge opportunity. We are very happy to announce today our partnership with Stellar. We launched Elliptic's world first XLM transaction and wallet screening capabilities will bring further confidence and safety to the Stellar network. So basically, what's interesting so far is we have Binance and Coinbase that's on board with Elliptic, and it looks like Stellar is one of the first ones to step up also to join this Elliptic movement. But of course, I'm going to tie Ripple in here also. So as we move on, basically, Stellar Development Foundation announces exclusive partnership with Elliptic. Elliptic sets the global standard in preventing and detecting an activity pursuing criminal activity in the emerging industry. New asset class, said Danielle Dixon. And of course, guys, if you're not familiar with Danielle Dixon, she is the new CEO of XLM, I believe. And I will link all this in the description if you would like to follow Danielle Dixon. One good thing is she's active on Twitter, which is I like to see. Congratulations to @DStork for the launch of their bootcamp app. So just May 1st, it looks like she is active tweeting Stellar Foundation tweets. So that's a good thing. Now, I kind of just wanted to look up the Stellar Foundation really quick. Stellar Foundation, changing the world of payments. Our leadership team, of course, I ran across Jed McCaleb here. Here's Jed McCaleb. So basically, of course, Jed McCaleb, I also found his Twitter. If you guys want to check out Jed McCaleb's Twitter, here is Jed McCaleb's Twitter. Congratulations to @DStork. I'm not sure about this relationship here, but I'm interested in the Elliptic relationship with Stellar and Ripple that we're talking about in this video. So, but I just kind of wanted to give you a background on how to find these people and how to, if you want to look a little bit farther into it, I will link all this in the description. Now, this is where it gets kind of interesting, because Elliptic launches the world's first XRP transaction monitoring system, identifies 400 million of illicit activity in XRP transactions. So first I'm thinking, whoa, hold on, what's going on here? Why are they running this program on XRP, and why are they identifying illegal activity transaction on XRP? But then again, I'm thinking, hold on, this must be all tied together because it's backed by Katawi. It's invested in by SBI. Pretty much right here is crypto risk management firm Elliptic on Wednesday announced it has raised 23 million Series B funding round. The round was led by Japanese financial conglomerate SBI Group, joined by London-based Albain VC, which we'll talk about those soon. Very interesting scenario coming up. Which brings me to this right here. Now, London, New York, Elliptic leader, provider of crypto asset risk management solutions for crypto businesses and financial institutions, today announces transaction monitoring support for XRP, the currency of the Ripple payment network, for the first time. So basically, it's almost as XRP is being targeted as the first one, also with Stellar, to be used for exchanges to be monitored as maybe the safest cryptocurrencies to use versus other cryptos, and I will show you guys that also. With this announcement, the Elliptic platform now supports over 85% of all crypto assets by market cap. The 400 million illicit activity identified by Elliptic represents 0.2%. So remember the calculations right there, guys. 0.2% of total XRP transactions. So if we move on, don't forget the calculations also. But it's also interesting how we're running like a, like what would we call like parody, criminal activity in crypto, the fiction of context. So basically they're like, an estimated 2% of all transactions are used for illicit activity. How true is this figure, and how does this impact the industry? Now they're making it like, whoa, 2%. But the thing is, once you look more into it, XRP's criminal undertow. Now remember this right here, 0.2%. But once you go down here and look a little bit deeper, it goes into, however, these figures are overshadowed by the ones the company found when conducting similar study on Bitcoin. It suggests that dark web purchases currently account for approximately 0.5%. So we've doubled plus zero point 0.1 of all BTC transactions. Robinson expanded on why he believes this figure is higher for Bitcoin than XRP. So it's almost really interesting how they identify how, because it's the first, basically XRP was the first one to trial the test on, because of course SBI is trying to prove that they can monitor these kind of transactions. And this is also why Mr. C also has issued a challenge to the fintech companies on identifying AML violators on very high cryptocurrency transactions, because these changes are about to be running big time. And that's what I mean. It's coming big time. So basically, if you go back to this right here, however, these figures are overshadowed by the ones by Bitcoin by 0.5 of all Bitcoin transactions. He explained, now he says XRP is not as liquid as BTC. XRP is more centralized than other cryptocurrencies and perhaps more associated with traditional finance. This might make it less attractive to illicit actors who might prefer something more decentralized and neutral, such as Bitcoin. Now, that could be, a Bitcoin believer's belief that it is more decentralized, so I will use Bitcoin. But I also kind of believe this does ring some kind of truth to it, that XRP is more or less going to be used for banks or money remittance services, which are already AML KYC'd. So to use XRP from Bitso to do something illegal would not be good. They most likely probably would say, oh, I'll use Bitcoin. But the thing is, what they don't understand is all transactions are going to be KYC'd and AML'd regardless. That's what's coming. But it's clearly showing you that these type of tests are underway, and it ties to Stellar. And actually, it just shows you the reason I got Stellar and XLM pretty much rocket taking off, because so far out of all these entities that you can tie to, most being, regulated the most is going to be XRP and XLM, because of this deal with Elliptic through Coinbase and Binance, because they're just trying to show the world that, hey, we can monitor these transactions, we can control this cryptocurrency. So, history is unfolding right before our eyes, that is for sure. But what's interesting also, as I look a little bit deeper, is always around the same time of all these events. Of course, we got November 30th, 2019. Of course, we got Coinbase chief legal officer leaves to take senior role at U.S. bank regulator in March 2020. Pretty much November 30th right here. And then you got the Coinbase one. Let me just show you guys real quick. Coinbase one around 3/5/2019 right there. And then you pretty much got Binance May 2nd, 2019. Pretty much what I'm saying, guys, is around all these time, Coinbase and Binance are conducting these tests with Elliptic. We got Brian Brooks, who's overseeing these, who's also a partner to U.S. Treasury Steven Mnuchin. So they're conducting these tests behind the scenes the whole time. And pretty much now Brian Brooks is ready to bring all this information back to the FSOC, Financial Stability Oversight Council, and they're ready to implement this technology globally. That's what is coming. Really quick, this is kind of interesting, and I truly believe this too. According to Crunchbase, Elliptic has raised $12 million to date, Series B. Elliptic raised $5 million in the Series A. With the Series B, Elliptic plans to further develop a solution to support new cryptocurrencies such as Facebook's Libra and central bank digital currencies. Now, I believe that Facebook's Libra will launch. I believe CBDCs will launch. I also believe that David Marcus, who works for Coinbase and Facebook, you will be able to access your Coinbase wallet through Facebook, which is going to bring major exposure to digital currencies, XRP, XLM through Facebook's. It's going to take that's what's going to take crypto usage from 5 billion to 50 billion through Facebook's access to Coinbase. Don't forget, you heard that here first. Okay, really quick, guys. Last thing is, when I always hear about a company, I do want to know a little bit of background about the company. Maybe I can tie some big names to the company. Who is the backers of Elliptic? So I wanted to look a little bit deeper on Elliptic. London-based Elliptic raises $21 million to identify financial crimes on the Bitcoin blockchain. So I said, okay, I'll look up two other investors. The startup has now raised $21 million in a Series B, led by Tokyo-based SBI Group, which is amazing. The first one I noticed was Signal Fire, which is Signal Fire right here. So of course you have Elliptic right here, Signal Fire. Here's Elliptic. So, and they actually have quite a few investments right there. Now the second one really piqued my interest right here. If you go back to what is it, Albon VC, go to Albon VC and look what we have here. Are you ready, Bullish family? Oh, hold on. Signal Fire, Albon VC. Get your moon boots ready. That's for sure. For other investors, they seemed. I just thought it was amazing right there how I had the spacesuits right there when I checked out the investors on that. So that's a very good sign, crypto pioneers. It's time to be bullish. Well, it's very late, and I hope you enjoyed this rabbit hole video. If you guys enjoy this content, I'm going to drop a video like this every day. The Bullish Network logo will come down right now. Smash that logo to subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. Much love. Mahalo.